never forget the day my family turned their backs on me, the day I became a pariah in my own home. It wasn't just the harsh laughter that echoed through the room like a blade slicing through the air, but the palpable disdain that dripped from their words. "You've lost your mind," my brother sneered, his smug face a mask of superiority. "You'll disgrace us all with this nonsense about bugs and curses. Get a real job, for God's sake." I had just been scapegoated for a hotel infestation, a catastrophe that left dozens sick and my reputation in tatters. The world had turned against me, and in that moment, my own family joined the chorus of derision. I grasped onto my interest in malignant entomology, the study of parasitic folklore, as if it were a life raft in a stormy sea, and though it felt like madness to them, it was the only thing that made sense in my fractured reality. Years drifted by in the realm of whispers and shadows, and as I deepened my research, I began to collect living colonies of insects that others had deemed cursed. With each specimen I acquired, I felt myself falling deeper into a world that, though scorned, revealed truths that gnawed at the edges of human ignorance. People called it madness. I found it enlightening, hauntingly beautiful. Then came the day I received recognition, a grant for my work. An invitation to speak at a prestigious conference. The world was finally waking up to the horrors I had been investigating, the sentient parasites that lay in wait, feeding on human despair. Yet, the moment I thought to return home, to show my family the truth, I hesitated. What would they say now? Would they mock me again, or would they cower in fear, confronted by the very darkness they had ridiculed? The night I stood on the threshold of my childhood home, the scent of rain-soaked earth mingling with memories of laughter and derision, I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. I knocked. The sound reverberated through the silence like a heartbeat. My mother opened the door, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You came back?" she stammered, her voice a fragile thread. "Yes, Mom. I need to talk." I stepped inside, my heart pounding. The room was dim, shadows clinging to the corners, and the air was thick with an unsettling stillness. My family gathered, suspicion etched on their faces, yet curiosity flickered in their eyes. I shared what I had discovered, the truth about the malignant entities I had studied, parasites that existed not only within the physical realm, but also in the very fabric of human relationships and fears. My words poured out, a mixture of terror and revelation, but my family's skepticism remained. They laughed mockingly at first, until I could feel the air grow heavier. Then, as I reached the crux of my explanation, something shifted. From the shadows, a low hum vibrated through the room, a sound that crawled under the skin. I could see it in their expressions, the dawning horror as I revealed an ancient text, tattered and stained with the remnants of my research. "This is what you laughed at," I whispered, pointing to the illustrations of grotesque parasites, many of which I had brought with me, now writhing in glass containers. Sentient creatures that thrive on despair, living curses passed through generations. My brother scoffed, but it was a hollow sound, like a leaf cracking underfoot in fall. "You can't be serious." I held up a jar filled with a colony of parasitic insects, each one twisting and turning in a grotesque dance. "You think this is a joke? It's alive. They feed on fear and hatred." Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness. The lights flickered violently, and for a moment I felt a terrible surge of dread. My family huddled together, their laughter silenced as the shadows deepened, swallowed by a darkness that felt alive. Then I watched in horrified fascination as the insects began to crawl out of their jars. It was as if they were drawn to the very essence of my family, their disbelief, their ridicule, that had fueled my obsession. A cacophony of gasps and screams erupted as the creatures scattered across the floor, seeking warmth, seeking fear, seeking them. In a moment of terrifying clarity, I saw the truth reflected in their eyes. The horror of what they had dismissed as folly now lay before them, weaving through the fibers of their reality. My mother stumbled back against the wall, her face pale and stricken with a realization that would haunt her forever. "What have you done?" she whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I didn't do anything," I replied, my voice steady, almost serene. "This is what you invited into your lives with your mockery. You laughed at my madness, and now you face the consequences." I stepped back, allowing the swarm to envelop them, a shroud of dark retribution. The very parasites they had deemed insignificant now clung to their shoes, their legs, as if binding them to the very fabric of their disbelief. I felt a strange mixture of pity and vindication. This was their moment of reckoning. As the room erupted in chaos, I turned to leave. My heart ached, but there was a haunting beauty in their terror, a poetic justice that coursed through my veins. I would carry the weight of this truth, but I would not be defined by it. With each step, I embraced the shadows, knowing that I had survived what they could never comprehend. And as I walked away from the house that had once been my prison, I felt the weight of the world's fears lift from my shoulders, leaving behind a haunting rem.